This episode of What's Going On with Shipping, the March 17th update on the grounding of the Ever Forward. I'm your host, Sal Mercogliano. So, quick update on Ever Forward. Before I do so, if you haven't had a chance yet, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you'd be alerted about new videos. Let's go ahead and check out where she's at right now. This is marine traffic and the latest position on Ever Forward. You'll see she is still showing status of ground in the same position she has been in since the grounding on the evening of March 13th. If you want background on the grounding and how it happened and potential salvage operations, just check out this video here where I talk about that in detail. So a couple of things to note real quick. No other vessels around her right now. We know that there are issues regarding her salvage, which I'll get to in a second. But right now, no vessels around her. Vessels are moving. We know vessels are transiting from the Bay Bridge area right down here off Annapolis. You'll see vessels anchored here. A lot of these are bulk carriers, but the channel to Baltimore is still open. Saw vessels passing yesterday. Matter of fact, quick correction on something I said. I noted that the Craig Hill channel was a single lane channel. It is not. It is dual lane. Matter of fact, yesterday we saw multiple vessels using the channel coming past and actually passing in close proximity to Ever Forward. One of the things we did note yesterday is ships are slowing down to make that turn there by Ever Forward. They're getting down to about 8-9 knots. Remember, Ever Forward went out of the channel at 13 knots. Not clear why they're slowing down, whether it's because Ever Forward is grounded and they don't want to push a lot of water out toward her, or they've been ordered to slow down because of the turn there. Not sure. Again, Baltimore is in full force. You come in here to the terminal, and one of the things you'll see here are vessels up against the berth right here at Dundalk coming in, container ship right there, one of the Maersk vessels in there, the gun-heeled Maersk in there. And then we have these car carriers that are in here at the other Dundalk facility. So the vessel has not moved since her grounding. This video, along with the cover photo, was provided to me by Ken Cold. Ken was a subscriber. Ken, I appreciate what you did. Give you good attribution here. Ken was able to get out there and get some pictures of Ever Forward, both photograph and get his drone up. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play. And in the show notes, I'll have the link over to Ken's YouTube site, Instagram, and Facebook, so you can go directly and catch out Ken's work. A couple of news stories came out on this. So we had a story out by Mike Schuller over at G Captain. Technical team boards grounded Ever Forward in Chesapeake Bay. A team of technical experts has boarded the grounded Ever Forward in Chesapeake Bay this week to evaluate the condition of the ship and determine a plan for refloating, a port official said Wednesday. That port official was William Doyle. Bill Doyle is the executive director of the Port of Baltimore. And in a tweet that's linked into the story, he says the following. Technical experts boarded the Ever Forward to evaluate its condition. Salvage team, naval architects, and naval architects are not U.S. naval architects. Naval architects are commercial architects. And divers are working to determine the best course of action to free the ship. Smith Salvage, the same salvage team that did Ever Given in the Suez, is doing Ever Forward to determine the best course of action to free the ship. The Coast Guard is the lead agency in this matter. The Coast Guard will not be doing the salvage, but the Coast Guard will give permission to do the salvage since it's in U.S. territorial waters. The vessel ran aground Sunday evening on its way to Norfolk after discharging loaded cargo in Baltimore. The ship's location is just off Glosson Island near the Craig Hill Channel in the Chesapeake Bay. There have been no injuries or pollution-related spills. I'm really interested in the fact that they have not put a boom around this vessel yet. I know she's not leaking anything, and I got some comments about this that what do I know better than the Coast Guard? I don't. I literally don't. However, if this vessel does start leaking, the time to put the boom around her isn't after she leaks. It's beforehand. And if you don't believe me, ask the residents of Brunswick, Georgia, who suffered the incident with the Golden Ray. And yes, Golden Ray didn't just run aground. She didn't capsize, but rolled on her side. Yet they had a massive spill in those waters. Bill Doyle goes on to say the ship's grounding has not prevented other ships from transiting into and out of the port of Baltimore. Business and commerce remain related activities at the port continue as normal. Experts in the private sector, federal and local authorities are using all resources. So a couple of things real quick. And what's very clear here is this is going to take more than just a few tugs to get her off. As I mentioned to you in the video, and I've been tweeting this out there, the ship was drawing 42 feet of water. That's 12.4 meters. Ken was able to get a great snapshot of the bow of the vessel, and she's showing that she's drawing 11 meters right now, which means 1.4 meters has been pushed up of the vessel. However, the water depth here is 24 feet. That's 7.5 meters. So to give you an idea, again, this vessel should have 12.4 meters of vessel under the waterline. However, she is plowed into the mud. If this water depth is only 7.5 meters and she draws 12, let's say 12.5 meters for me to do my math, about 5 meters of this vessel, about 16 feet of it is buried in the mud below the surface right here. And that's all the way from the bow to the stern. And she is several hundred feet, I mean, probably a full ship's length at least off the channel this distance. She's over 1,000 feet long, meaning that she has basically furrowed a ditch 1,000 feet. And understand, as she plows 1,000 feet through that mud, she pushes that mud out of the way for the vessel. And as she pushes that mud out of the way, that builds up along the sides and backfills behind her. And right now, that trench she dug to get in is filling up with silt. This is going to require talking to a lot of naval architects and people I know. A couple of things are going to have to happen here. Number one, they're going to have to get the fuel off the vessel. So you can expect to see barges out here soon to take the fuel off. They'll definitely boom around during a fueling operation to get the fuel off. Any ballast that's on the vessel will be pumped out. She'll have water ballast because she's light, even though she looks like she has a full load of containers on board. A lot of those containers will be empty. They were heading back to Asia. They had been loaded in both Savannah and in Baltimore. They may try at that point to try to get her off. It depends on what her draft turns out to be. But they will survey the vessel. The team from Smith will do a survey of the vessel, ensure there's no damage done to the vessel. Again, look at images of Ever Given and how she smashed her bow. Probably you have damage to this vessel. We just don't know what type of damage is being done, but they'll want to survey and ensure if there's any cracks, any damages at all, they identify them before they start to move the vessel so that they don't want to find that later on and think about, well, was that caused during the salvage? So they'll probably lighten the vessel, assess whether or not they can move her at that point. If they don't think they can move her at that point, they'll have to start taking containers off. And obviously the light containers are the easiest ones to get off, but they also do the least amount to help the vessel. What you want to get is those loaded containers off. 40-foot containers empty weigh 8,000 pounds. Fully loaded containers can be up to 60,000 pounds. That's more than a helicopter can carry. We had this discussion with Ever Given in the Suez using helicopters to get containers off. With Ever Given, it was really difficult because she was almost fully loaded. You can maybe get some of the light containers off, but it'll be really difficult to get the loaded containers off. You're gonna have to bring a barge and crane out to do that. It normally takes a cycle of about 2 minutes to get a container off a vessel, and that's on a pierside crane. To do it at anchor with a barge and a crane is going to take longer, and plus you'll probably just have one crane out there. And you're talking about a ship that can carry 12,000 TEU. She doesn't just carry TEU, she has FEUs, 20-foot equivalents and 40-foot equivalents. 2 20-foot equivalents equal a 40-foot equivalent. You'll see 20-foot equivalents right here, smaller boxes. These are the larger boxes, probably somewhere in the range of 6,000 to 8,000 boxes on this ship. Just my rough guess here, what she has. Minimum half her load of 12,000 TEUs, so 6,000 boxes, but probably 7,000 to 8,000 boxes on board. That's a lot of loads to get off a ship. And when you start doing the math, it takes a while to do this. So that's where we stand right now. We're waiting to hear more from the companies. We're waiting to hear more from the Coast Guard. I don't expect we'll hear a lot about what happened yet. Understand, when the Coast Guard boarded this vessel, they would have grabbed the vessel data recorder to turn over to the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, not Security Board. And they would have also probably drug tested the crew and the pilot, gotten depositions from them. and basically found out what they knew and what happened. So I'll keep you up to date as information comes in on this. Obviously, it's going to be a developing situation, may not be daily updates. We'll see how things change. And my goal here is to be more concise and tight in my videos. I apologize. I'm a college professor. I'm used to having to repeat myself for professors. I will try not to do for students. I'll try not to do that. So until our next video, this is Sal. If you hadn't had an opportunity yet, please subscribe, hit the bell so be alerted about new videos when they come out. Leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, share it across social media. And if you can, become a Patreon and help support the channel so that I can bring you reports like this. And most importantly of all, go over to Ken Cold's channel, check it out, go subscribe to him, follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, follow him as much as Ken will let you follow him. But please do. And Ken, thank you so much for sharing your video with us. And as Ken gets new videos, we'll be sure to share them with everybody else. Until the next video, Sal, signing off.